Well, hello, and Super Soul Sunday to you. Pinching a punch, first of the month. Can you believe it that we are in the final quarter of the year and lots of change coming up? I really wanted to talk today about addiction and to offer up a hint to do no harm because we have to start loving ourselves if we're going to be able to love others and to bring back more love and care in the world. And as we sort of enter this new moon in Virgo, which we're in, again, this is around the cycle of growth and awareness. And for some of us, it's been building for some time. I don't know about you, but I have had sleepless nights and a lot of old stuff coming up to the surface to be released. And I think we are really reaching for more light and more transformation. And what that new moon holds in store for us is, again, that liberating us from anything which is holding us back from deeper meaning and purpose for our individual journeys. And we're all going through this massive shift again of looking at some of these old cycles of being and aligning with new impulses that are arising within all of us, and to do our inner work and to do our shadow work. And what prompted this spontaneous sort of healing today was when I went out and sat in the sun and was doing my meditation today. This theme of addiction came up again because we're all addicted to judging ourselves and holding ourselves back. And I love what Gabor Mate says, that it's impossible to understand addiction without asking what relief the addict finds or hopes to find in the drug or in the addictive behavior. And it's a question that I often ask my clients is, what's the value of holding this belief or holding yourself to these unrealistic expectations? And 99% of the time it comes from attachment wounds from our childhood and all the places where we're sort of holding ourselves back, because at the end of the day, it's not that we made a mistake or that there is a learning there. We turn it inward and it becomes I'm the mistake. And I think most of us carry around shame for habits we have or have had in the past. I know I certainly have, a history with bulimia, maybe it's porn addiction, maybe it's cutting. But the fact that we tolerated those crappy partners just so that we could feel love, if you came out of narcissistic abusive relationships, or you're an adult child of an alcoholic or an addicted family member, maybe it's trying to find where you actually abandoned yourself in the first place because it felt less painful to do that, reject those parts and pieces of yourself, rather than have another partner cheat on you or betray you, so that you could feel alive again. Whatever it is, it could be not speaking up or pushing back when the cool girls, made fun of our elastic waisted jeans in junior school, or compromising our boundaries and integrity just to be friends with those girls. And I know I certainly did that a lot in my absolute pain of wanting to be accepted. And some people find a place for that eating, binge eating, just to find enough peace to maybe sleep at night, or having a bottle of wine after a long day of work and watching the clock for the minute. It turns 5 o'clock because you're craving it. Or there's just so many ways we self-medicate and try and band-aid. But until we actually get to what created the pain in the first place, as Gabor Mate says, what is addiction really, other than a cry for help? It's a sign or a signal or a symptom of I am in pain, I am in distress. And it's a language that will tell us about something that we're needing to understand without making meaning of it and without making ourselves wrong. And it's so easy, isn't it, to actually go into those places where we develop these coping patterns or these attachment patterns to protect or defend ourselves from getting hurt again out there in the world. And I say it all the time, but we need to feel in order to heal. And we are traumatized through relationships. So we need to be in relationship. We need good self-regulation online. We need to be trauma informed in order to have healthy co-regulation or loving relationships and not keep attracting more of that sort of narcissistic abuse or someone that's going to emotionally neglect you again. And oftentimes this comes from childhood, where we're attempting to numb out the pain and keep ourselves safe. And yes, it might have worked then, but it's probably not working for you now, because we need to grow ourselves up, and we need to be able to really look at our history, whatever that kind of addictive pattern or pathway is due to bad programming, where maybe you are hurting yourself, right? And that whole thing around himta is to do no harm. So we have to stop self-harming, or what I call self-shredding, and bring that lens of compassion for the parts of us, right? The wounded child parts, the fragmented child, the parts of ourselves where we have abandoned and rejected and denied our desire, or to even ask for more of what we want. So we stay in that perpetual cycle of self-abuse. And I think so much in our attempt to move forward, to grow, and to create something different for ourselves, it's quite ironic that we're called upon to accept and even have compassion for the self-destructive and the other destructive behaviors and habits that we may have had in the past, or we're still living out in the present. And remember, you can't create a beautiful future if you're living in the past and you're letting these self-destructive habits harm you. And I'm not saying, we don't cognitively or consciously wake up and say, gosh, I'm going to self-sabotage and hurt myself today. But it just becomes so ingrained in us that it becomes second nature until we bring our awareness to it. And I love what Marion Woodman says about the longing for sweets is really a yearning for love or sweetness. And that's what I love about traditional Chinese medicine, is that every organ, endocrine, and body part has its own consciousness and its own expression of desire and needs. And oftentimes, when we don't have enough energy in our pancreas, we don't trust ourselves. And the spleen pancreas is kind of one. Termed as one, spleen, pancreas, and the stomach, and their earth elements in Chinese medicine. And when there is deficiency or a pathological, so an over expression on the spleen, pancreas, it's just like we're literally starving for sweetness in our lives. And a lot of times that'll turn you into craving for sweets, or having insulin or diabetes, because on some subconscious level you're saying, I'm not worthy of love, I'm not worthy of sweetness. So when you deny the sweetness, the body eventually says no, and we have to look at that. And I think this is again such a beautiful time, the beginning of every month, to set yourself out to make a commitment to expand in your self-care and your self-love, because so many of us are living with the self-love deficit. And I don't want to ramble on too much today, but I just want to share the himta that I did for myself this morning in that recommitment to bring in more practice of self-love, whether that's extending the amount of time of meditation or journaling, or just quiet time out in nature, or perhaps to do something for yourself that maybe you haven't for a long time, because we need to prepare, and this is all in the preparation, so that we can charter these choppy waters. I mean, we're seeing nature herself right now really being shaken up with hurricanes and in Florida and all the fires. The earth is burning away the old and inviting us to do the same, because we are part of nature. So use this opportunity that's being offered to really prepare yourself and burn away everything that is no longer working for you, including those old protective and defensive patterns, right? Those attachment wounds that you're still carrying that are no longer helping you and maybe hindering you from getting to your next level in your life, or in the things that you're wanting to change. So if you're feeling shaken up by life, this is just an invitation again to adjust your sails, re-navigate, refocus on your North Star. Start trusting yourself, start trusting your body again. Trust that you can calm down your nervous system and get out of those old survival patterns that are keeping you on hypervigilance or so numbed down that you don't even know who you are or what makes you happy anymore. And be the force of nature. That is so within you, this is the time to readjust, integrate that healing of all of our relationships, starting with our relationship with ourselves, and to really look at, Chiron coming up in Aries. Again, this wounded healer is going to be with us for the next 7 years. So bring that aspect of kindness and compassion to stay safely embodied and to be courageous in taking that next step outside of your old security patterns, so that you can form these new experiences which are holding that potential to empower you and free you from your own limiting beliefs. So if you're multitasking, would you just take a moment, just stay with me for a second and do this hymta with me, just as a way, to just stay in that active appreciation of what is available for you. Just go there and just allow yourself for I don't know, 5 minutes, just to commit to the necessary accountability of your words and your actions and what you're doing and being in the world, so that we can support the happiness and the upliftment of everybody. Because, unfortunately, as I said, because of our own traumas and our upbringing, very often the ways that we create harm, as I said, is towards ourselves. And how can we get back into our own journey if you're separating from yourself? You can't connect and co-regulate with others. So we have to reconsider, what is that languaging that you're using that's supposed to uplift your nature, or are you diminishing it? And what can you do to heal these limited beliefs and the shadows within you that are often telling you that you're not enough, or that you're incapable, or you're somehow fatally flawed, which is not true, right? That's just the programming, and where ahimsa can become a very beautiful anchor to look at, what it is and how you can start to apply more self-love to your own life. So just sit up tall. I like palms up, feet on the floor. And you can do this eyes open or closed. But I want you to just ask yourself for a minute, how are you today? How's life, really? How's your health? How's your relationship? How's work? Are you waking up in the morning, jumping out of bed, feeling inspired and excited? Are you eating foods that are nourishing or nurturing? Are you engaging in conversations that are uplifting and mindful or conscious? Or are you in a place in your life right now where you're kind of dragging yourself out of bed, or you're feeling very disengaged or uninspired, or depressed, or are you eating foods that you know are only decreasing your energy body, or are you involved in a relationship that's disempowering, where maybe there is betrayal and lies and deception, or just straight out negativity and criticism? Try not to have any judgment. Just acknowledge, where you are right now, and see, yeah, maybe I haven't been eating as well as I should, or I've been dumbing down on Netflix, binge watching, or whatever it is. Just take a moment and just check in with your body. Feel into your body. How are you? How's life? How's your health? And are the choices that you're making serving your highest, greatest good, or are they depleting your vital energy and your joy? And just take a breath in if it's safe for you to do that. Exhale that out and just take a moment to just sit with that for a minute. No judgment, nothing to do, just to feel that in your body right now. And take another deep breath in. And exhale it out. Hi, Andrea. And ask yourself, are you willing to commit to do the inner work that's necessary to heal your body, your mind, and your spirit, to just reframe all your narratives, all the words that you are spelling out, so that you can give to the world the way that you're giving to yourself, so that you're no longer using languaging that is harmful, that you're no longer choosing to use food or substances that are diminishing or impairing or hurting your body in any way. And just instead today, in this moment, to just acknowledge that you have work to do in this world. And this work requires you to be sustained and rounded and present and happy and empathetic, and recognize why things are happening as they have, and to just surrender all that you have to a broader understanding, so you can open your heart to self-love, so that self-love can carry over and out into the world, that benefits not just your own health and wellness, but the health and wellness of all, including the planet and the waters and the air. The time is now. So what is one commitment that you can make today that can nurture and nourish you? Just one small shift, one small pivot. Perhaps you could just hold your body and just thank it for the way that it moves you through the world. Or maybe you can thank your heart for the way that you're capable of loving animals and nature and families and friends, and the fruits of your labor. Everything you've worked so hard for. Could you honor your body by giving it beautiful live food? Or maybe just commit to not using language that is self-shredding and cruel and hurting your body. Maybe for today you could tell yourself how much you're loved today, and carry that love within your heart and out into the world. So today, ahimsa, do no harm to you. And then as that understanding of ahimsa grows, you're going to start to see the ways that you're going to be able to expand out and practice that non-harming into the world around you. Place your palms into namaste and just take another breath and give thanks to God, to divine, to Gaia, for the food that you eat, the air that you breathe, the access to the resources that you have, and commit to being mindful, to living sustainably and lovingly and compassionately in all that you do and all that you say and in all that you create. Can we commit to non-violence, to non-harming, And can we ask to remain open to just receiving more tools for integration along the way without any resistance, without any fear? Nothing to do, nothing to prove, nothing to hide. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And open your eyes. Namaste. And blessings as always. If nobody told you today, I see you. I honor you on your journey. And I love you. Thank you for being you. Enjoy the rest of your day or your night, wherever you are.